Alright guys, good morning. Let's get those phones away, Chromebooks out. Does anybody not have a Chromebook? Alright, everybody has their Chromebook. Let's get those out then. Let's get moving. You don't have a charger? What kind of charger do you need? The flat one? Does anyone have a flat charger that we could use? We could borrow? Yeah, John Young. Alright. Chromebooks out. We have a pair deck to get onto. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a quick pair deck, and then we are going to have a debate about political parties. I'm sure that probably excites a couple of you, and maybe a few of you are not excited about that. But we will work through it. Do you have your Chromebook? No? Okay. Could you work with the group on just like having access to the room? Alright, so to start, I have a couple of really important questions for you guys. Really serious. First one, if you guys could only use either TikTok or Instagram for the rest of your life, which do you choose?
Instagram.
Instagram? Why Instagram?
Because I gotta talk to my mom.
Because before I didn't
I like the Instagrammers over here. I like it.
There's your national native heritage back. The 15th is designated the designated date to honor the Cherokee people who were forcibly and removed from their homeland in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee to the Tennessee territory. Now Oklahoma is what is known as the Cherokee Soldiers.
I don't.
4,000 Cherokee people died of hunger, cold, and disease. They were forced to march without their belongings across 9,000 miles.
But you don't damn well gonna send me
Do you like
If you do not have a paid parking pad, you are not parking. Citizens paid parking passes numbers 29 through 45. Please see this tomorrow morning for your new tank tag. Bring your temporary tag with you.
If you do that, then you creepy as hell.
Not have a parking pass. Please do not park on this parking.
Oh, so
She just said.
hey, can we restart this?
What did
You might want to restart this.
Oh, did you just say something?
Yeah,
I'm going to cut out the announcements anyway. Honestly, with the masks too, it's hard to put specifics.
Yeah, just don't rewatch the video.
A good way to avoid that is to keep your language nice and. Think if you guys have a nephew around, a kid, little boy around. Does he?
Yeah.
Imagine you have a little angel that you want to protect. Imagine they're sitting right there next to you.
Right.
The last day for late registration is this Friday.
When cheerleading tryouts will be Tuesday from 5:30 to 8 in the small gym. Make sure your online athletic forms have been completed and you have a current physical on file before you try out. Wrestling free Apple AirPods.
This Friday at our Black and Red School at 5 p.m. in the main gym. Just bring your school, ID, and COVID vaccination card. We'll see you there. Also, morning lifts will continue from 6 to 7 a.m. open to all students. And wrestling practice is from 2:40 to 5 p.m. today.
The Hazel West National Honor Society is hosting a canned food drive Wednesday, November 3rd through Tuesday, November 30th. This can include canned vegetables, fruit, meat, pastas, sauces, breads, and cereal. Please bring all canned foods to the Inman's Classroom, room 135, across from the large gym. And that's all we have. Do you cats remember what's a Wildcat?
Always a Wildcat.
Catch you in the PM.
Awesome, beautiful. Okay, so we have the Instagram crew over here. Any TikTokers? Anyone would take TikTok over Instagram? No?
Wait, you said what?
If you could only use TikTok or Instagram for the rest of your life, which would you choose? Instagram? We had a lot of TikTokers last hour. We I think they might be a little upset with you guys. So we don't have a single TikToker in here? Alright, that's beautiful. Next question. If you could either be the smartest person in the room or the funniest person in the room, which would you choose? Smartest? I had some over here. Smartest, okay. Anybody else? Any funny people? No funny people? Alright, we have a pretty unified class here. I kinda like it. Next question. Do you guys think the death penalty should be legal or illegal?
Legal, because some people do.
Legal. Okay, a lot of legals over here.
Illegal.
Illegal right there, so John, illegal.
Legal to a degree.
Okay, explain that for me.
It depends on the seriousness of your crime, whether you receive the death penalty or not. It's a lot of crimes that I feel like people shouldn't even die for. They need to just spend the rest of their life in like a maximum security prison for some of the worst people.
Listen, I feel like, yeah, you know, a person who killed 10 baby mamas. But why should it be up to them for their death? Just put them in a cell. Well, you know what I'm saying? They don't never see daylight again. Maybe have to reflect on what they did. But nobody should be like, oh, he should be dead. So you're gonna legally kill him. No, you don't have the right to do that.
Yeah, you don't. So yeah, John is saying that no one has the authority to kill another person. Do we have disagreements here, Anthony? Should be legal. Why is that?
I had this debate.
Yeah.
Right.
So Anthony, consequence.
I think if it's a life for a life.
Gotcha. So Anthony says life for a life, eye for an eye, justice. Right here. Yep.
Okay, so I feel like it should be legal because if they're saying that nobody should have the right to take somebody else's life, say a serial killer going around killing everybody and they don't have the right to take other people's life, so they should die for taking other people's life.
But in that case, they're doing the same thing. You technically killing somebody.
Right, no,
If the judge pronounced you dead, then the judge is a murderer.
they always break up.
It's like, oh, that's the death penalty. Then you look at the death, you're legal.
But it's for a good. Okay, now I'm seeing some real disagreements. I guess you guys just don't really care about TikTok, care more about the death penalty. That's probably good. But we're gonna come back to this issue if you guys feel like you have more to say. We have disagreements. We have one strong case for anti-death penalty, and then we have a few people who disagree with that. We're gonna come back to that. One more question before we get going. Let's get a raise of hands. In the next presidential election, when you guys vote, or if you guys vote, regardless of who the candidate is, do you think you would be more likely to vote for someone who's conservative or liberal? Raise your hand if you're gonna vote for someone who's conservative. And then put a thumbs up if you do not know what conservative or liberal means.
I don't know what they mean.
Thumbs up, okay? Thumbs up here, thumbs up. Okay, so I'm seeing what I'm seeing is a couple people who are not entirely sure of the terms, and then a lot of liberal voters. Am I correct about that?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so the terms conservative and liberal sort of lean towards political beliefs, and we're going to be getting into today the how exactly political beliefs and the groups that have certain political beliefs operate within governments.
Pardon the interruption. We have a dark gray Explorer on the back lot. Alarm.
Big cloud or some shit.
549.
What? Somebody
I
cried.
heard dark gray Explorer. Does anyone have a dark gray Explorer in here? That's. Are you joking? All right, sorry about the interruption. Today's objectives: 1, I can identify the role that political parties play in government. 2, I can assess the role of political parties in elections, the operation of Congress, and their influence on public opinion. Is everyone on the Pear Deck right now? Is everybody having a good, easy time accessing it? I'm seeing a few screens that are not on it.
I'm on it.
I didn't even know this.
Is your Chromebook charged? No. Do you need a? Oh, well, okay, I'll get you. Oh, you do? Okay. Let's get that extension cord over to you then. But everybody else is having a good time getting on there. PowerPoint for you. All right, so those are the lesson objectives. What I want from you guys, what I want you guys to be able to do after today is define political party, to identify the two major political parties in America and their major beliefs. I would like you guys to describe the role of political parties. And lastly, I want you guys to be able to construct and critique arguments from a perspective that might not be your own. Everybody clear on what we're doing? On what I'm hoping for you guys today? Yes, yes, yes? All right, first question on this peer deck for you guys. What are the two major political parties in the United States? Go ahead and just write that in for me. Do you need a charge group? Yeah. Which, oval or flat? Oh, okay. I'll get that set up for you. We have, ooh. Does that stretch? Let's see. Let me know if I'm pulling your cord out. I just want to take it as far as I can. I don't know if he can get here from there.
Yeah, I wonder if Cameron could just spread a pair of the kitchen table.
Yeah. Hey, could you sit right here as a charge strip?
And then hopefully
Once
it's
we're-
charged by the time it's for.
We'll move you back like that. All right, let's see what we're getting here. Where's my charger? Oh, right, that power block right there. Oh, do you have a charger? No. No, okay. Can someone share out what they put in their answer form? Yeah, I heard Democrats and Republicans. Did anybody put anything else on there? Or is that pretty much it? Let's see here. Okay, a lot of Democrats, Republicans. Beautiful. Okay. All right, yeah, so Democrats and Republicans are the two major political parties that we have. Good job with that. Next question, go ahead and write again. Can you guys name any other political parties? And if you can't think of any, why do you think this might be difficult for you? Why would this be hard? Okay, let's see. We got a couple people saying that they just haven't heard of any other parties. That is a valid perspective, and there's reasons for that. We'll get into those reasons. Let's see. Austin says Green Party and electoral, question mark. You're right about Green Party. Electoral is not a party, but we'll talk a little bit about the Electoral College, which you might be hinting at there. Thank you, Austin. Let's see. Kelvin, yes, there are more parties. We actually have a lot of political parties here in the United States. We'll hear about a couple of them, and some of us are going to learn in depth about a couple of them. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of we haven't learned a lot. Communism. So communism is we do have a socialist party, which isn't exactly communism, but they do have some overlapping ideas. Let's see. Haven't heard any. Yeah, those are all valid opinions. Why do you guys? That is pretty much the answer. But why do you think it would be hard to know of any other political parties? Yeah, the other ones aren't as popular, right? Democrats and Republicans get most of the air and head time as people. All right, I'll read this aloud for you guys, but the other text we're going to do some different strategies. So what is a political party? Well, it's a party, but not the kind with ice cream and cake. A political party is an organized group of people who share similar political views and work to influence the government in support of those views. Political views are a person's ideas about how the government should run and how the issues facing our country should be solved. Political parties fight to gain political power by having candidates elected to office. They exist at every level of government, from the national level to your very own neighborhood. By organizing into political parties, people have more power to influence government than if they acted alone. Any questions about what a political party is? We're going to get into more of what they do, but like that broad statement of what they are, is anyone confused with what this slide is saying? Nope? Alright, I like it. Can I have a volunteer read this slide up here for me? Yeah, go ahead, Austin.
The big two. In the United States, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are the two main political parties. Are there other parties? Sure. The U.S. technically has a multi-party system, but these two parties have gained so much power that almost every person elected to the government office belongs to one party. Most Americans identify with one of these two parties. About 40% of Americans identify as politically independent, meaning they don't want to identify with any party. Most independents end up voting for either a Democrat or a Republican, and many lean toward one party or the other. Independents may be more open to supporting candidates from either party, and some independents are elected to office.
Awesome, thank you, Austin. Yeah, so we have the big two, Democrats and Republicans. We just talked about that. Can anyone name me any differences between those two parties? Anything that you guys already know of? Any differences in belief?
So political parties are just two people or two groups of people that just have different opinions on the government.
Yeah, that's part of it, for sure. What do you think those different opinions are? Have you heard anything about what Democrats believe versus what Republicans believe? Laws, yeah, so the types of laws that get passed, yeah. What difference there?
I mean, like, maybe one of them, I don't know too much about it, but maybe one of them, it's like believe this law should be different. Maybe the other one believe like this law should just be here. And then their reasoning is because maybe they have a different viewpoint of the U.S.
I like that, yeah. So laws are very impactful for how people live, and the Republicans and Democrats absolutely have a different idea of what sort of laws that they want passed. Any other ideas of differences between these two belief systems?
Yeah, it's just like a big fight over whether to throw out some of the laws we gotta like change or something, like how they keep switching up the abortion law. Like you can do it and you can't do it. You can do it, like they keep just switching something up.
Yeah, so there are differences on abortion and whether or not that should be legal and available are different. Can anyone tell me which party is considered pro-life, which would be anti-abortion? Republicans, yeah, and the Democrats are typically pro-choice, which is in favor for free and, or not necessarily free, but easily accessed abortion that is legal and easy to find. It's still going. It's just black screen. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, though. All right, yeah. So there are some major differences between these two parties. We have the conservative versus progressive, or conservative versus liberal. The big idea behind conservatism. What do you guys think that would be? What does the word tell you about what the Republicans could possibly believe in if they're considered conservative? Have you guys heard that term before?
They don't want much to change. They want
Yeah, they don't want much to change. Yeah, they want to conserve the classical, traditional systems. Yeah, thank you, Kella. What about progressive or liberal? Sorry? Moving forward. Yeah, what does it mean to progress? To continue, yeah, to keep going. The progressives, basically, broadly, like things to change. Yeah, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take a minute to read those two quotes there that are for both the Republicans and the Democrats. Those are from their websites, from like the homepage on their websites. And once you guys are done reading those, are there any other big differences between those two parties that you guys see? So, anything, any information on this slide that jumps out to you guys? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So Adam, did you say better towards? Oh, bend towards the, yeah. So they are very, very mindful of what the people are believing, the average Joe, so to speak. Anything else jump out to you guys? Lawrence, what was that? Did you have a question there? Yeah, so you guys remember our Second Amendment right? It's the right to bear arms. So they don't necessarily, some of them certainly would say, hey, everybody should have a gun. But some of them aren't saying, hey, I want every single person to go get a gun right now. They are saying, I want every person to be able to go get a gun, because they take the Second Amendment right very seriously. Which is the right to bear arms. Yeah, Anthony.
See, both of these are good. Can free slaves.
Why is it so cold in here?
See, that ain't no being rich.
What was it that cold last night?
But high tax rates often synthesize.
So guys, what Anthony just said was a really good point. He was mentioning how the Republicans and the Democrats differ on how they want people to come into our country. So he definitely hit on those open borders or secure borders issue. I heard some discussion going on over here. What were you guys talking about? Sorry, I missed what you were saying.
We were just talking about the Democrats.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Democrats.
Yeah, what were you guys saying?
How they have high tax rates on the rich.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about that? What does that mean? What does it mean for a high tax rate to be on the rich?
They pay more taxes.
Yeah, they pay more taxes. Yeah. What is the purpose of taxes? Why does the government tax people?
So
they have money to spend. It costs money to do stuff. So the government has money to spend. Yes.
I think basically the Republicans are more on the ideal of like everything is equal, while the Democrats are more about fairness. So you have more, you give more, while the Republicans say everybody got to give the same and give the same.
Yes, that is a really good point. So the fairness aspect is a very huge piece for the Democrats. Absolutely, fairness is one of their biggest defining traits. I think you're hitting on the Republican ideal pretty strongly as well. They like equality. So one of the ideas if we're looking at tax rate, there are two different ways to tax people. You can do a flat tax, which is every single person in the United States pays the same exact percentage of their income to the government. That would be a flat tax. So everyone pays, say, 15% to the government. That's it. A progressive tax is where people who have a smaller income, people who make less money, they pay a lower percentage. So they may pay 5. But the people who make a ton of money, so you got Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, they may pay 40. So that you'll have these different what's called tax brackets, where the more you make, the higher percentage of what you pay to the government. So that the progressive tax has typically been backed by the Democrats to raise taxes for the rich, where the flat tax has been traditionally pushed forward by the Republicans. Yeah.
So why won't the Republicans and Democrats work together?
Why won't they work together? That's a great question. And
are they fighting over power?
Power, yeah. I think that's a fundamental question about our government that has been an issue since day one and continues to be an issue today. Because both of these things, you look at they believe differently, but all of those things that are up there, they're supposedly supposed to help the people. If they want to help the people, why don't they just work together? I mean, that is a question that there really is no great answer for. There's just different methods of really achieving some of the same thing. Does anyone have an idea why these two parties don't want to work together a lot? Which, by the way, they do sometimes work together. Have you guys heard the term bipartisan? Like a bipartisan bill? So I see a little bit of nodding. What is that? Let's, Adam, what does that mean?
Bipartisan bill means that they favor both parties, like what they have. So they have like a $2 trillion bill they want to pass and it favors both parties.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. Thank you. So a bipartisan bill would be something that both parties end up voting for and both parties are in support for. That doesn't happen really quite as often as the bills, or at least it's not publicized as much as the bills that are considered one-party bills. Any other ideas of why these parties don't want to work together? Are they just too different?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
Disagreements, and they just not going to work together.
That's like two babies fighting over a lollipop.
Yeah. That's why, you see these, a lot of presidential candidates, they run on what's called a unity ticket. So they preach this idea that, oh, hey, we may believe different things, but we're all Americans in the end. We need to work together. That is a really, really strong strategy to get people elected into office, and people use that all the time. But unfortunately, a lot of people who say that don't end up backing that up. And some people who don't ever say it are really good at it. So, you can't always trust exactly what people say.
I feel like they should be embarrassed by that, because you're supposed to be making America great. But they just.
And they probably is great. They got what they want done. They don't care what nothing.
I really wanted to impact something else.
Real change would be easier, really, if we did have unity across the board. Those frustrations are all valid, and I think that is a really common frustration among the people today, is that they see the division between these groups and they're like, what is happening, guys? Come on, why can't we just come together? Which is a very complex issue, and I'm glad you guys are touching on that, but we do need to move on. Okay, so I have a true false question. Raise your hand if you think this question is false. Keep your hand down if you think it's true. The United States has a two-party system. Raise your hand for false. Keep your hand down for true. And I'm seeing one. Raise them high for me. I can't quite see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 7 for false. Why is it false? Why would it be false? Okay, yeah, so the slide before did say that, yes, technically we do have multiple parties. Someone who said true, what do you guys think?
Because we do have 2 major parties.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if somebody asks you, then you would have 2 party systems, it's like, we're not gonna name all the other ones, you're gonna name the 2 major ones.
Very good point. So this answer, if you guys were to encounter this on a test, this answer is true. So we do have multiple parties, but our multiple party system, we have a 2-party system. So the system is built to favor those 2 parties, It is not built to favor those third parties that we'll have, which we're going to get into. Is everybody absolutely clear on that one? So we have a two-party system. That doesn't mean that we don't have more than two parties that actually exist. Awesome. And we did have, yeah, the people who answered on the peer deck mostly went true. Okay. Can I have a volunteer please read this slide for me? Someone's name that doesn't start with an A. John, thank you. Joe, sorry, my bad.
Many political parties exist in the United States. Candidates for political office can represent any party, but that doesn't mean you'll see everyone's name on the ballot. Each state has rules about ballot access, allowing a political party to put a candidate on the ballot. Usually, the rules involve getting a certain number of signatures from registered voters. These rules keep most third parties from even offering a candidate for voters to choose from. The Democratic and Republican parties have ballot access in all the states. Libertarian parties is the largest third party, with ballot access for the presidential election in more than 30 states. As 2015, the Green Party had ballot access in 20 states, and the Constitution Party had access in over 10 states.
Okay, what is a ballot? Can someone tell me what a ballot is? That might be a word you guys might not have encountered yet. Adam? Yeah, so you vote on a ballot, right? So what it means for someone to have ballot access means that they they get on the ballot, so you can vote for them. So the way I like to think about this is that imagine the election is a party that you're holding at your house. You have the Republicans and Democrats, they're the cool kids. Door's going to be wide open for them. They can just walk right into the party whenever they want. But if you have a third party, so say a libertarian wants to come to the party, they have to do a bunch of stuff before getting into the doors. You know, say they have to jump through a bunch of hoops that are like really difficult in most states. And then for some third parties, it really is almost impossible for them to get onto the ballot because those hoops they have to jump through are just so difficult. So do we have any questions about ballot access and what that means for those third parties?
Why they gotta make it so difficult? Why can't they just get up to it?
Yeah, why do you think they make it so difficult?
Because they're small and nobody knows us.
Yeah. That is exactly the next question that we have. So why do you think states have rules about ballot access? And can you think of any ways in which these rules might be unfair? Go ahead and write those responses down for me. Okay, yeah, we have a good answer here. Because maybe we only need two parties. Maybe two parties is enough to do what we need to do here. Yeah, I like what Calvin says. He says that it's unfair because just because someone is in a smaller party doesn't mean that they should be excluded from the election. It's a good perspective. Amy has a good answer. I think they have ballot access because the states want citizens to vote for certain parties. And she also thinks that is unfair. Can you guys name any states that typically vote either Republican or Democrat to where there's not much of a mix? It's like one or the other? California, very Democratic, yeah. Anybody else? Missouri, yeah. Who does Missouri typically vote for? Republicans. Yeah, that wasn't always the case, but it certainly is the case now. What about, let's see, what about New York? Who does New York typically vote for? Democrats. Yep. Texas, Republicans. But that was a big story, is that the Democrats in the 2020 election got a lot more than what was expected in Texas. So there's sort of this idea, and for the Republicans, a fear that they might lose Texas. That sort of would be that would be a dream scenario for the Democrats. Why exactly would that be really good if the Democrats were able to get Texas? More seats in the House, yeah. So is anyone familiar with how the presidential election works? Get a nod.
You just go to a school and elect the president.
Right, so you vote. Okay, but does every single citizen's vote count for one equal vote?
No.
No. So they don't just put every vote into a pile and say, okay, if he gets more votes than her, he wins, or vice versa.
Wow.
How does it work? So why we'll get to why. Adam?
Say, citizens vote and they take majority. Majority gets sent to, or what they call it, there's every state has 2 votes.
Yeah, so he mentioned something called the Electoral College. So what the Electoral College is, it's sort of this committee that is made up of a state's or the country's total number of seats in Congress. Can anyone tell me, what are the 2 branches of Congress, or the 2 sections of Congress? Senate and the House of Representatives, yeah. So the Senate gets 2, it's 2 per state there, as we remember. In the House, what is the House's number based on? Yep, population. So if the Electoral College, who they vote for the president, and their votes could either be, so say the majority vote in Missouri is Republican, all of those electoral votes go to the Republican candidate. That's not the same for every state. Some states have it differently. But so why do you think a state like Texas, if they were to go Democrat, why is that such a big deal?
Because most of them are Republicans.
Yeah, so they were Republican and they're switching to Democrat. Why is that so? Why would that be catastrophic for the Republicans? Because yeah, Texas has a huge amount of people. They have a huge amount of Electoral College votes. If those were to go Democrat, that would be a huge blow. Just like if California was ever to go Republican, that would be a huge blow to the Democrats, because these huge population centers are very impactful in our elections. Yeah.
Don't you need like 270 electoral college votes or something like that?
That's exactly correct. Yeah, there's 538 total Electoral College votes, and you need a majority to win the election, and that number is 270. So once a president hits, or once a candidate hits 270 votes, they in effect win. Yeah.
There's something in play. If they both have the same amount of votes, somebody else comes to play for them.
Yes. Yeah. So I think next it would go to who is next? If there's a tie.
And the Electoral College?
Doesn't it go? Yeah,
it goes to the Congress.
There we go. Yeah.
And they vote, and then
there's a line of.
Yeah. So I mean, that's never. I don't think that's ever happened.
No, I don't think it has.
But yeah, if it doesn't reach somebody doesn't reach 270, then it does go to Congress.
Yeah.
So both Democratic Party and Republican Party both pretty much work for the government.
Yeah, so they make up the government. They aren't the entire government, but they play a huge role in the government. We'll get to exactly what they do coming up. Do we have any questions about ballot access and why that matters before we move on?
I still don't like the fact that you out here slandering on them small parties for no reason.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like, they don't put them on TV or nothing. Like dang, give them some shine too.
I ain't never heard of them.
What if it's a small party out there that like a lot of people agree with it? They just heard about it. But all you hear about is Democrats and Republicans.
You guys will really find the statistics coming up very interesting since that is the case. Actually, if we go back to the big two, 40% of Americans identify as independent. They don't jump on either side, you know? So a lot of them are, a lot of people like that typically are against the two-party system. They want more voices because more voices means more representation for their unique beliefs. Okay, now we are going to third parties. Can I have another volunteer read out this slide for me? Someone loud, And Austin, if you're really feeling it, you can do it again.
Third parties. Many political parties exist in the United States. Candidates for political office can represent any.
Oh, we did just read this. I'm so sorry.
Oh, we did,
Yeah, I am behind. Yeah, my bad. Okay, read this one. Sorry. Wrong slide.
The party platform. One thing political parties have in common is that they stand for something. If you want to know what a party believes, its platform is a document that describes the party's views on all of the major issues facing the nation. This set of statements is called the platform because it is set of beliefs the political party stands on. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party keep their platforms broad and simple to attract as many supporters as possible. At first, it can be hard to tell the difference on some issues. Both parties might say they want better education or more jobs, but what does that mean? The party's platform explains what the party thinks better education looks like and how the job should be created. You can find the political party's platform by going to the party's website.
Yeah, so later you guys will have a chance to go to these party websites and look at their platforms. They're huge documents. They're kind of unwieldy, hard to get a grasp on, but that's a good thing because a party should have really complex ideas about what they're wanting. They should have specific ideas. Do you have any questions about platforms? Oh, all right. I will read this next one for you. Political parties support candidates. So looking at exactly what they're doing. So in the United States, you'll be most aware of political parties during an election season. Candidates who are running for political office almost always declare themselves a member of a political party. By doing this, a candidate gains support from the political party. It makes it easier for voters to figure out what the candidate believes in and where they stand on the issues. At the same time, political parties fight hard to get candidates from their party elected. Party committees at the local, state, and national level work to support their candidates by raising money, campaigning, educating voters, and urging people to vote on election day. So we have another true-false question. Political parties work at all levels of government, national, state, and local. Go ahead and just click which one you think is correct. Okay. Does anyone need a few more seconds with that? I'm seeing a couple more votes come in. Okay, yes, that is true. So the party, these parties, they work at the national level, should be voting someone getting someone like the president in. The state level, which should be those state representatives in Congress, and local. Also, we have party representatives at here in St. Louis, and they work even smaller than that sometimes even at the extremely local level. There we go. Okay. One more volunteer to read this next slide. This is a big one. We really need to make sure that we have this one down. Go ahead.
Political parties work inside the government. Candidates who are elected to office work to pass laws and solve problems, while each government official has his or her own views. The laws and solutions they support usually align with their political party's platform. In the U.S. Congress and in state legislatures, the balance of power between Republicans and Democrats can determine which laws can get passed. The majority party, the one with the most elected members, can most easily influence laws by getting all its members to vote the same way on a bill. This isn't always easy because members of one political party don't necessarily agree on all the issues. But in American politics, it's common for most lawmakers from one party to vote the same way. Meanwhile, the minority party works to promote the views of its supporters by forcing compromise with the majority party. If the minority party is successful, this can create laws that are balanced between the two parties' viewpoints.
Awesome. Thank you, Austin. All right, so we have this next question coming up, which is checking for knowledge here. In the United States, Congress and most state legislators, Republicans and Democrats are split into a majority party and a minority party. Let's hear what you guys think here. Okay, just waiting on a couple more. All right, this is great. You guys are unanimous in this. It is true. You guys are all right. Which party holds the presidency right now? Democrats, yeah. Who is the president?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, wonderful. He is a Democrat. Who holds the Senate? Who is the majority party in the Senate? Or who's the majority party? She's the majority leader. Is Pelosi a Republican?
No.
There you go. Yeah. Democrats hold the majority in the Senate. Who holds the majority in the House? Sorry?
Democrat.
Yes, Democrats. So what is that? What do you guys think about that? One party right now controls the presidency, the House, and the Senate. What do you guys think? Okay, so we have one that's messed up. Why is that messed up?
I have my own beliefs.
You have your own beliefs about it. So here's a good question. If it was flipped, if the Republicans held all three, would that also be bad?
Yeah.
It would because it's overpowering.
Overpowering? Yeah. Yeah, those are good. Those are
So
all
who's on
very.
Obama's side?
What was that?
Who's on Obama's side?
Who's on Obama's side? Could someone answer that? What party was Obama part of? Democrats, yeah. What about, let's see, George Bush? Yeah, both Bushes were Republicans.
Gotta push outside.
Yeah, good work there, guys. Okay, I will read them. Going too fast.
Joe Biden was the vice president when Obama was in office, right?
He was, yeah. So Biden was the vice president, and then so Trump was Republican. He was before Biden. Trump ran against Hillary, who was the Democratic candidate. So it's almost every time between Republicans and Democrats. There'll be one for each. All right, I'll read this guys for you. So in the executive branch, the president and state governors almost always belong to a political party. Like lawmakers, their views usually align with their political party's platform. A president or governor works for the people, not a party, but he or she may be very committed to advancing the party's goals. He or she does not make laws, but is key in developing public policy, the stand the government takes about how these issues should be handled. A president or governor's policies are usually in line with their political party's platform. A president or governor who belongs to the same party as the minority in the legislature may also disagree with many laws passed by the majority and may veto those laws. What does it mean to veto a law? Sorry? Get rid of it, yeah. So a law gets put on the president's desk and he sweeps it away. Nope. So that leads us to this next question. The president or governor's political party has no effect on the lawmaking process. getting some good answers in here. Can someone who said false, why is it false? Yeah?
You can pretty much bypass the good, or Congress, pass a law.
Yeah. Is vetoing something having an effect on the lawmaking process? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, so that is false would be the correct answer here. The president and the governor definitely have an effect on the lawmaking process, and since the president and governor are almost always associated with a party, then the political party has a very significant effect on the way our country is ran and on the laws that govern us, the citizens. All right, this is our last slide. There's a quick video here that we're not going to have time for. It's just Obama in a political ad. I think it was 2012. So if you guys have time later when you're home, I would recommend watching it. It's not funny or particularly exciting. It is him just talking, but it is a good ad. So political parties and you. So political parties, they need voters. Voters is how they get their power. That's how they get their members into office. And you guys are the people who vote, or who are going to vote, who are hopefully going to vote. And so they are going to want to influence you guys as much as they want, or as much as they can. So on YouTube or on television, do you guys remember seeing any political ads in 2020? Yeah? Were there a lot or a little of them?
A lot.
A lot.
During the election.
Yeah, they're pretty much everywhere around election time, and they put tons of money into that because they want you guys to vote for their candidate. And sometimes you'll see them attacking the opposite candidate, so they are wanting you guys to not vote for the other person. What is a lot of people, the only information they ever get about an election is from these ads. What is the problem with that? Or is there a problem with that?
Wait, trying to put like a commercial about maybe why I should do this and talking bad about
So sometimes a lot of voters, say I'm a voter, I know nothing about any issues other than what I've seen on TV and the commercials. Is there a problem with that?
Yes.
Yeah? What's wrong with that?
Because they be lying in them commercials. If you don't do your background knowledge on the party you support and the person you support, then all that stuff they're saying, there might be laws, and as soon as they get into office, they doing everything opposite of what they said they was going to do.
Yeah. So you hit on several really good reasons. One that you said last. Okay, the political party they can say really whatever they want in an ad. There are rules, but they can say something and not back it up, and that happens quite often from every party. Also, sorry, someone saying something? No. Also, these parties they have an agenda. They want to win. So they are inherently biased towards themselves. So the information that they're giving you is not painting a full picture of the issue, which is not great. But if you guys do feel strongly for any one party, you can join that party. You can register to vote for that party. Here in Missouri, if you guys register for a party, that makes you eligible to vote for a president in the primary election. So in the primaries, what a primary is there's votes within a party that go for who that party is going to push up for the presidency. So if you were a Democrat, you would be voting for people like Biden, Kamala Harris, Andrew Yang, Pete Buttigieg. They were all competing against each other to be the Democratic candidate for the president. So in those primary votes, you're voting for who is going to be the Democratic candidate. The same goes for the Republican Party. Goldie, is that correct, right? Don't you have to register to vote in the primaries in Missouri?
No, not in Missouri.
No, you don't? Okay.
Yeah. It's you do, when you go, you have to ask for a certain ballot.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have it.
That's what I was going to say. So yeah. You have to request a ballot for that party if you're going to vote in the primaries, but that does not automatically register you for that party. Yeah. Kellen? Yep.
What if I just don't like neither? What if they vote just with no points? I don't.
So what do you do then? If you don't like either of them, what are your options?
I want to go to the third, the smaller party. I want to see what they
Yeah. So you can, if you want somebody that's not on the ballot, you can write in a candidate. I will say that does not, writing in a candidate does not really increase the odds that they're ever going to be elected. That is a long shot. It's like a double full court shot, honestly.
The third parties also have their own, they're usually not on, in Missouri anyway, they're not usually on the primary, ballot, like when you go to, vote in the primaries here. But they do often have their own conventions and their own things like that, and then, cause the primaries, you're just telling, in a primary, you're telling a political party, hey, political party, this is who I want you to run for president or whatever. So if you are really into a third party, you want to like start working with them and campaigning and helping them get ballot access so that on the general election, when you're actually voting for the president, that they are on that ballot. But as far as in the primaries, if you wanna tell them who to vote, like who they should run, like you need to find out like when they have their caucuses or their conventions or different things like that, and you can have a say-so that way.
Yeah, and you know, if you are voting for president and you do want to vote for a third party, if you're able to, a lot of the people that do that, they're not necessarily voting with the hopes that they're going to win. They're usually voting to get that number up so then they can increase ballot access in the future and resource access and that sort of thing, debate access. Yeah.
Are you a Republican or are you a Democrat?
Oh, it doesn't matter what I am. I am a teacher, and it is my job to give you guys all of the facts that are available. Yeah. Yeah, so if I'm a teacher and I am swaying you guys in one direction, what's wrong with that? Is that any different than you guys going on YouTube and seeing a political ad?
No.
Well, it's a little worse, honestly. Actually, probably a lot worse. But it's if I am biased and I'm trying to sway you guys in a certain direction, I am not doing my job effectively whatsoever. So
It's something like with the religion thing.
also, very similar to the religion thing. Yeah, it is not our job as teachers to get you guys to think the way we do. We want you guys to be able to think in general. Yeah. So if I'm a teacher and say if I actually vote one way, I'm not going to tell you guys, but if I teach you guys how to think and how to be objective and be smart voters, and you guys vote in a way that I don't agree with, I mean, I have to be happy about that because you guys are still using your reasoning and you are using your vote, your unique voice and experience to influence government in the way that you want it to be influenced. So really, what I want out of the government has nothing to do with it. Very good question. Yeah, and if any of you guys ever do want to become teachers, that is really important for you guys to really take to heart, that you guys don't want to influence people towards any political or religious or other belief. I really just want you guys to think for yourselves. That's my biggest goal. And speaking of thinking for yourselves, we're now going to get into a debate portion. So let me go around and give you guys little sheets of paper. Don't open this yet, just grab one. So you guys can go ahead and exit out of your pair decks now. You do not need those going forward. Don't open it quite yet.
No.
Here you go. And then could you guys grab one of these? Okay. So on Google Classroom, you guys have an assignment. It's what, 4.3b, right? And you guys should be within your table groups in that assignment. Let's just make sure that works. So when you guys get in there, what we're going to be doing is you guys are going to be assigned as a table a political party, and there are going to be 4 statements that are saying something political. And you guys need to respond to those statements through the perspective of the party that you've been given. Also on that assignment is a slide with resources for you. So you guys can go to the party website, you can go to speeches from candidates, you can go to their platform, and you guys can find information on what that party believes. And as a group, you guys are going to construct a response to each of those statements. You guys should have the same response, so maybe split it up and work differently with people, work on different statements. And after we do that, we're going to come together and have a little debate from the perspective of the party that you guys have been given. Is everybody able to access that assignment on Classroom? 4.3B. Yep, that's it right there. Yes. Are you able to get on there? Okay, so whoever has the papers, let's see, over in this table, whoever has the paper, go ahead and read out what party you guys are. Let's see. What's that? Sorry? Okay, we have Democrats over here. Yeah, I do have a pass. One of those paper passes. Okay, go back. Back here in the corner, what do you guys have? Republican? Okay. Over here? Libertarian, great. And over here, what do you guys have? Green Party. Okay, so we have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, and the Green Party. Caleb? Caleb, do you want to come back over here? Did you name Caleb? What's your name? Yeah, okay, sorry, Caleb. I had your so you're with the Democrats over here. So everybody, is anyone having issues getting onto that assignment? We're up on it over here, over here. We've got it over here, over there, and right here. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys about 15 minutes to go to those resources for your party and construct your responses. What do I want out of your response? I want you to say whether you agree or disagree. You can agree with part of it. You can disagree with part of it. There's a whole wide range of things you can say in your response. And I also want you to say why you agree or disagree. And ideally, you would be using reasoning that your political party mentions either on their website or in another resource. And a great response would be including a quote or some sort of evidence that your party puts forward in support of their belief. Is everyone clear on what we're doing for these next 15 minutes? So this is a big task for the time, so I would recommend splitting it up within your groups. And remember, you guys are operating within the perspective of the party that I have given you guys. So you have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, and Green Party down here. Do you have any questions? No? All right, you guys have 15 minutes starting now. Remember, you guys are working as groups, so if I could be here in discussion, you guys working together, deciding which statements you're going to tackle. If you guys have any questions for each other.
Let's see this thing.
It's blurry. Bro, my blind is
Oh, I see it. I got it. Okay, so when we read it, we just giving our opinion on it.
Giving your party's opinion on it. Right, so imagine that you are a libertarian, right?
Okay.
So use the resources that we have to learn about the Libertarian Party, and then respond to those statements as a libertarian would.
What party are we?
Sorry?
What party are we?
You're the Green Party. You guys have about 12 minutes left. I would highly recommend splitting up for these issues, working together as much as you
I
can.
can do the first one.
No. Oh, I'm a librarian, boy.
Are they okay with it? Because we can't read it out loud.
Yeah, I'm on Zoom.
So, if somebody wants to buy it, they can buy it. Technically, the chair's on
Interested in climate change and taxes or investment? Climate change, so that's why I would do that one if you want to zoom in and see if you can find anything that the Republicans would say about climate change. That would definitely help. Which do you want to talk about? Have you visited the Republican Party? What do you think? Do you have an idea? You know what presidents look like? Yeah.
Social distancing.
Wait, so since we doing this as a group, Do I have to fill out the other three up?
No, this is yours.
But y'all being-
Oh, we all.
Those resources, you can also just give it a search if you need to.
I just did number one. Oh, I see it. Oh.
How are you guys doing?
No, it's just.
You would probably. Yeah, they are very economically conservative plus. Like, so that what usually what people say about libertarians is economically conservative socialism. Really good like little cheat statement is that if they are choosing between more government or less government, they will always choose less every time.
I respect it. I can like it. I like it.
And when I say government, I mean whatever they're doing, like whatever the government is, if the government's doing anything, they're like, no.
They kind of based off what people.
Yeah, very much, yeah, so liberty, right, is their thing, so they're all about freedom, personal freedom. So they want to limit the government's authority over people as much as possible.
Cause I'm guessing they think like, why do I can understand it.
I'm not tripping, right? There's strengths and weaknesses, I think, to that argument. Cause, you know, a lot of people do have some distrust towards the government. A lot of people look at, okay, if the government's not doing so well with a lot of these things, why would we trust them?
Is this color on yours?
Then also, you know, I think there's some things that the government does pretty well, right? So like there's a wide range of libertarian belief out there too. So typically, like a lot of Republicans who like the economic policies of Republicans, but they do not like the social policies, will sort of drift into libertarianism. That is pretty common. How are you guys doing with Green Party? Do you guys have any done yet?
You got one, and I'm working on another one right now.
Okay, or do you guys need to help Austin out? He shouldn't be doing each one. I don't think he has the time to do each one.
I just did one of them, did another one.
Okay. Beautiful. So let's keep working together, get that going.
Good job, team.
Green Party is Green Party is sort of their standing is bumping up and up and up as we go along. They're really appealing to a lot of people's ideas. So they have an interesting future. How the Democrats doing over here? You guys doing well?
I'm gonna say, what are you doing?
Let's see, you have number 2. You're doing more death penalty. How to phrase it? Maybe Google search what the Democrats think about the death penalty and see if you can find some quotations on that. From that response for it. You think that'll work? Anthony, which one are you? Is anyone doing the first one? Nobody do the first one. You guys have 4 minutes left. Get as much as you can get done. Then we'll come together and discuss. Do you like a camera board? Okay, gotcha. Sorry I botched it.
Next time get to work.
Alright, can you choose choose a,
Now let's
look for me. Go ahead. What you got? What you got? 2, okay. I'll let you on.
Two to share.
Choose. Yeah, choose another. You? What you got? Yeah, it is. 3 or 1? 1, 4, 2. Four, 2, 1, 3. How are we doing? Are we close? I'm seeing some good chunks of text for people.
I want to outlaw them.
And these don't have to be perfect. We're gonna have discussions on them.
I want to go back and just maybe look. I wish they used a video.
2 minutes.
Yeah, bro, you got a 9, 10. Yeah, okay, you got a 9.5? Oh,
How'd you get a 10? I got a 9.5. Is that mine? Yeah, it is. I got a 9.5. Oh, I didn't set my evidence, that's why. Wait, so what did you get?
I got a 9.5.
What did you get? Austin, what did you get? I got a 9.5.
Imagine having 9.
Kylie, what you get? A 9.
A 9 is terrible.
I got a 9.5 because I didn't cite my evidence. One time you just didn't cite my evidence.
Alright, about 30 seconds.
Everybody start copying my
No, you see, at the bottom, you wrote a lot. Wait, what did you write? I mean, what did you get? I got a 9.5.
The thing is,
It's because I didn't cite my evidence.
She said the same thing about me.
But she couldn't check. This is all over. Look, this is all over.
Alright, everybody, let's come back together. You guys are writing, finish up your sentence. Let's bring it back. Let's get ready for discussion and debate. Okay, so first number we have our Republicans are number 1. Can one of our Republicans please read out your statement that you guys wrote for the first item, for the first statement?
yeah, just start copying me.
I
Okay,
said,
let's
I think
listen up,
that
guys.
Americans should not be
We've got some
required
talking going.
to vote because not everyone has the same knowledge or access to vote. What's your example? Which I did.
Hey, let's quiet down in that corner, please. Up in that front corner. Alright, keep going, sir.
I said, Republicans would not be okay with that will freedom and not have to go to money to be worth it.
Okay, so we have Republicans do not want taxes raised. That is the bottom line for the Republicans. Do any other parties have any different views on that one? Libertarians, what do you guys think? Do you guys like, do you like high taxes or low taxes? You like high taxes? Why do libertarians like high taxes?
Well, cause if the money is put to good use, like, you know, medical care and college funds and stuff like that. But if it's like not get put to good use, then, you know, what's the point of even taking money from that?
Do you remember what I said libertarians thought about the government in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, smaller government. Do you think high taxes means small government or more government?
More government.
More government, yeah. Do you think libertarians, do you think they would vote for, raising the taxes? No? Okay. What about our Democrats? What do you guys think about taxes? What do you guys have on taxes for you guys?
They love taxes.
Democrat? Yeah. Let's have the Democrats. Thank you, Joe. But what are our Democrats saying about taxes?
You would rather lessen taxes, not completely get rid of them, but just try to cut them down a bit. I say this because they said when President Obama was running for president, Democrats in Congress cut taxes for every working family and put $1 million to Americans' pocket.
Yeah, so we have the Democrats saying, hey, let's lower taxes for the working people. They should not be paying that much in taxes. What do you think they would say to the richer people, the people with more money? Would they also want lower taxes for them? No, why not? Is there a single word that could sum up what they want out of this? What is that? When I throw a dice? Sorry? Okay, chance, close. When I throw it, so say there's two people throwing a dice. That game starts with an F. Fair, yeah. One of the Democrat. You see the word fairness all over the Democrat website. Paying their fair share. A fair society, that sort of thing. Very good, thank you, Anthony. Green Party, taxes? Yes or no?
We believe in like a fair tax system.
Also fair? Yeah. Yeah, so you guys seeing a little bit of a pattern here? Battle lines are kind of being drawn where Republicans and Libertarians aren't quite for the whole tax thing, but the Democrats and the Greens are like, yeah, let's do it. If it'll benefit people, let's go for it. All right, number 2. Who has number 2? Was it, I don't remember if it was it our Green Party guys number 2?
Yeah.
You did? Okay. Go ahead and read your statement if you guys have a statement for the second. The second one's just top right on the guns.
I said, we very much disagree with this. We, the Green Party, call for a ban on sales of assault weapons in 2019. Our standing on this has not changed and it never will.
I like it. What is it about those assault weapons that the Democratic Party is not for? Did they mention why on their website? Or are they just not for it? Or a better question, Austin, sorry, would be why are they not for the sale of firearms? Or like for wide and unrestricted gun access? All right, well, Austin is looking that one up. Do we have a response from our other parties about the Democrats or the Green Party's stance on guns?
What was the question?
It was a second statement, top right on the guns. The Democrats, or not the Democrats, sorry, the Green Party is very much against the gun access, especially the assault weapon access. Are Libertarians and Republicans, anything you guys want to say about that? For your party, yeah. Yeah, why are you guys for? Why does the Libertarian Party want wide gun access?
For like the people that have guns?
Okay, Second Amendment, right? Yeah. Yeah.
We like our self-defense.
Yep, self-defense.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. What statement did you guys prepare for the second option?
I still not disagree because libertarians is obvious.
Oh, so you disagree but not Libertarians?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you, so, okay, go ahead and read what you think about.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
they wanted to agree because they said it was self-defense, but my personality, I think it should be a limit to the amount of guns that citizens get to use. Instead of having like, cause you're not gonna see somebody walking around with a museum.
I done seen other people.
So there has to be some. So yeah, that what you're touching on is what is widely called like common sense gun laws. A lot of people leaning left will advocate for common sense when it comes to firearm access. Republicans, what do you guys think about the guns? Yes? Yes? Is that a pretty much a categorical yes? Like wide, unrestricted yes? Gotcha. Alright, I like it. Alright, number 3, really quickly. Who is number 3? Is it you guys? Or is it you guys? Okay. Let's read what you guys have for our statement on climate change. Let's hear what the Democrats have to say. That last part, hitting on conservation, there's certain areas that they don't want to be affected by business. Yeah, and then also investing in the science and technology to combat climate change. Green Party, I could see you guys shuffling in your seats over there. Are you guys have anything to say about climate change? What do you think the Green Party, what is their biggest issue? Yeah, what is their biggest political stance? Think about it's in the name, Green Party. Yeah. So the Green Party heard what the Democrats just said, and they just went, yes, absolutely, for sure. Libertarians and Republicans, anything on what the Democrats said for the environment about sorry? Global warming would fall into that category, yes. Also could be conservation, you know. Okay, they agree it's a problem, but then is there a but after that, or is it just they agree it's a problem?
Somebody deleted the slide.
Oh, gotcha. Oh no, someone deleted the slide?
It's back.
Oh, it's back? Okay, good. That would not be great. What'd you guys write for that one?
For what again?
The climate change slide. Real quick, you gotta get going.
Go ahead.
I think we need to also take on government because if we ain't got, we already got it, because if we ain't have no environment, what we won't do is stay in to protect our rights and stuff. There wouldn't be no environment to protect our rights. That's what environment.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Thank you, libertarians. And then 1 minute, really fast. Death penalty, bottom right. Let's just hear rapid fire. Democrats, what do you think? Real quick. Death penalty. As fast as spotlight. Somebody throw it out there. Doesn't matter who.
Me.
All right, Republicans, what do you guys have? We'll come back to you. Sorry? It depends. Oh, second chance. Oh, Republicans are against the death penalty. Opportunity? Okay. Libertarians, death penalty?
We agree with the death penalty because, we gotta protect ourselves and our people ain't being necessary.
Okay.
Oh, I quit.
Sorry?
I said, I personally disagree with the death penalty.
That's crazy.
But today, I'm a libertarian, so I all agree.
Okay. Green Party, death penalty? Against it? Yeah, okay. All right, so thank you very much for participating in the discussion. I passed out those papers as an exit ticket for you. Try to get a few sentences there, and this is your chance to really elaborate on your own beliefs here. So if you guys have a lot to say, if you've been itching to say stuff today, get it down there for me. That's all on your paper for you. And please turn that in as you walk out the door today. I'm not looking for an essay, just looking for reasoning, looking for evidence if you guys have it. So really I'm looking for the why, those kind of why statements, please. Clarify for you libertarians, they typically, most libertarians are against.
We saw that as soon as I told you. I was like,
So you like me, so you man that shit over there.
If the government, so you said earlier you don't think the government should have the right to kill someone.
Exactly.
That's libertarians saying that the government should not have the right to kill someone. Because that's government action. They want less government action, right?
I'm still pro.
Libertarians sound like a super.
And then there are some libertarians who aren't for the death penalty with qualifications. That is. Yeah, you can be a libertarian and have varying views on all of this.
Wait, we disagree with
You
can write like what you
asking what you believe.
Wait, were y'all Republican?
Green Party.
They were Republicans back there.
Democrat, right?
That's Democrats, yeah. Thank you guys today. Have a good break. Thank you for spending time.
Oh, okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you, John.
I always forget to read it at that time. Have a good break. I mean, enjoy tomorrow.
Have a good break. Thank you, Austin.
Still have school tomorrow, but have a good day tomorrow and a happy day.
Thank you.
You're on school next week. You're in school tomorrow. But then you are done for a whole week. If you can believe that. Alright, and I am Toby. This is complete. English.
253.
253.
Oh, 263. I'll probably remember that. Yep.
Oh, we're all up to
participating.